Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood and wrestling updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. In a shocking twist that rocked the WWE Universe to its core, fans witnessed an emotional implosion on Monday night. RAW that few could have predicted, but many will never forget. Former allies became enemies, legacies collided, and a brutal betrayal unfolded live before our eyes. Yes, we're talking about the fiery confrontation that saw Lyra Valkyria viciously attack Becky Lynch during her highly anticipated Women's Intercontinental Championship match against Bayley. What was set up to be a classic showdown between two of WWE's most respected and beloved female athletes quickly spiraled into chaos when Valkyria stormed the ring, leaving devastation and unanswered questions in her wake. But what truly happened? That night, what led to this emotional collapse of friendship and sportsmanship? And what does this mean for the future of Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and the WWE Women's Division? Stick with Daily Gossip as we take you through all the drama, betrayal, history, and heartbreak of this unforgettable night on Raw and where this volatile storyline could explode next. To understand the gravity of what occurred, we have to start with the match itself. Becky Lynch, known as the Man and one of WWE's most iconic figures, was defending her newly won Women's Intercontinental Championship against Bayley, another pillar of the women's division. The stakes were high, the energy was electric, and the WWE Universe was hyped for a battle between two champions, one past, one present. The match started strong, with Bayley and Becky exchanging powerful grapples, high-risk moves, and near falls that kept the audience on the edge of their seats. Bayley even tried to humiliate Becky by attempting to lock in her own finisher that disarmed her from the top rope. Becky countered with a brutal superplex and nearly locked in her signature armbar in return. The match had all the makings of a five-star classic until chaos arrived in the form of Lyra Valkyria. Just as Becky began to gain momentum, Lyra, emerging from the crowd like a shadow from Becky's past, stormed the ringside area. Within seconds, she interfered in the match, yanking Bayley away from a pile of chairs and drawing the referee's attention. It wasn't just a minor interruption, it was calculated, deliberate, and meant to send a message. Seconds later, she unleashed a brutal attack on Becky Lynch that left the WWE Universe gasping in disbelief. The referee had no choice but to call the match off, awarding Becky the victory via disqualification. But nobody cared about the result. The real story was what happened next. The unprovoked, vicious beating Lyra delivered to a woman who had once mentored her. Fans who have followed Becky and Lyra's story know this wasn't just another wrestling feud, it was personal. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch had a deep bond, often portrayed as mentor and protégé, sharing Irish heritage and mutual respect. Becky had seen potential in Lyra long before the WWE Universe embraced her. Their journey was intertwined with admiration, trust, and collaboration, both in and out of the ring. So when Lyra snapped and took Becky down with furious strikes and calculated aggression, it felt like betrayal in its purest form. Not only did Lyra attack her former mentor, she did it during a title defense on live TV in front of millions of fans. Social media erupted, fans flooded Twitter and Reddit with emotional reactions. "Not Lyra, WHY." One fan tweeted, while another wrote, "Becky gave her everything." This feels like a knife in the back. Wrestling analysts were just as stunned. Dave Meltzer called it one of the most shocking heel turns of the year, while others speculated that Lyra's attack wasn't spontaneous, it was premeditated. And the evidence backs that up, from the way Lyra emerged without music from the crowd, wearing a cold expression of determination, to the specific timing of the attack when Becky was most vulnerable. Everything screamed strategy, not emotion. But what could have driven Lyra Valkyria to do this? Some fans believe it's jealousy. After all, Becky recently ended Lyra's historic 145-day reign as the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion at Money in the Bank earlier this month. That loss not only hurt Lyra's pride, it pushed her down the pecking order in the women's division, while Becky soared to new heights. Others suggest it's deeper a need to break out of Becky's shadow and forge her own legacy. For months, Valkyria has been praised for her technical prowess, charisma, and fierce determination, but always in the context of being Becky's successor. Maybe she snapped under the weight of that label. Whatever the reason, the aftermath was chilling. After the match was thrown out, Bayley, who had just been robbed of a potential victory, tried to confront Lyra. The two women exchanged heated words in the ring, but Lyra didn't back down. Her face showed no remorse, no regret. Becky, meanwhile, lay on the mat, dazed, humiliated, and heartbroken. It wasn't just a physical injury, it was an emotional wound inflicted by someone she once considered family. WWE officials had to intervene to separate Bayley and Lyra, while medical staff checked on Becky. The crowd, once raucous and cheering, was silent with disbelief. Even the commentary team struggled to process the moment. Corey Graves called it a dark day in the women's division, while Michael Cole insisted Becky didn't deserve this. As we look ahead, the implications of this betrayal are huge. Becky will no doubt seek revenge, and when she does, it won't be a technical wrestling match. It'll be a war. Expect WWE to book a rematch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, possibly at Night of Champions or SummerSlam, where Becky and Lyra will finally settle the score. But it won't be just about titles. It'll be about betrayal, vengeance, and pride. Bayley may also be thrown into the mix, as her unfinished business with both women makes her a natural wildcard in this explosive feud. Meanwhile, Lyra Valkyria's character has undergone a complete transformation. Once a fan favorite underdog, she is now a ruthless aggressor with a chip on her shoulder and a vendetta to fulfill. If WWE leans into this new heel persona, Lyra could become one of the most dominant forces in the women's division. She has the talent, the look, and now the edge. Backstage sources say that WWE Creative has big plans for Lyra in the coming months. Her alignment with damage-inflicting chaos suggests potential ties to darker factions or a complete reinvention of her ring identity. Some even speculate that this heel turn could position her for a run at the Women's World Championship down the line. For Becky, the attack may serve as a character reset, a return to the fire and fury that made her the man in the first place. And what about the fans? As usual, the WWE Universe remains split. Some are furious with Lyra, swearing they'll never support her again. Others are excited, calling the moment electric and exactly the kind of drama WWE needs. One thing's certain, Lyra Valkyria made a bold move that will define the next chapter of her career. So now, we wait. Will Becky rise from the ashes and take revenge? Will Lyra double down on her betrayal and continue her assault on the women's roster? And will Bayley find herself in the middle of a feud she didn't ask for but now can't escape? Thank you for watching Daily Gossip. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest wrestling news, emotional betrayals, and backstage drama from WWE and beyond. The war between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria is only beginning, and we'll be here to cover every shocking moment.